Greetings, true believers. Stan Lee here, welcoming you to the latest harrowing adventure of our high-powered hero, the amazing Spider-Man.
So Mario, what is the game about?
Well, Shattered Dimensions is about, obviously, Spider-Man, but not just one Spider-Man. We've got 4 Spider-Man.
Okay.
So we've got Spider-Man, we've got Amazing Spider-Man, we've got Ultimate Spider-Man, we've got Spider-Man Noir, and we've got Spider-Man 2099. They all have distinct gameplays. They all have very distinct art styles.
Could you tell us a bit about those different gameplays?
Yeah, Amazing Spider-Man, it's the classic Spider-Man that everyone knows, you know, has been around since the 60s. He uses his web a lot. He'll shoot out some web, grab a piece of ground, rip it up out of the ground, and, you know, break it into 2 pieces and slam it together against enemies and stuff. He's flinging web all over the place. Ultimate Spider-Man, he is obviously Peter Parker when he's more of a teenager. He, in our game, he has the black suit. And he has, because of the black suit, he has the power of the symbiote.
Okay.
So that gameplay is a lot more, it's a lot more of a brawler style. Because of the symbiote, he's got a really long reach, and he can take on huge hordes of enemies. And he also has what's called the rage mode, which every time he takes damage or gives damage, it fills up a meter, and then once that meter's full, he can release it, and just pretty much what he's doing is letting the symbiote just have its way with everybody, just unleashes it. And so, as that's going, the symbiote does more damage and has a longer reach. And then every time he hits someone, it feeds it.
Okay. So they have different gameplays, they have different stories.
Yeah.
But is there like one plot line that unify all the games?
Yeah. In Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions, what happens is what's called the Tablet of Order and Chaos gets shattered, and fragments of it go into all the different dimensions.
Okay.
A woman called Madam Web, psychic. She contacts all the different Spider-Men, and she basically enlists their help to get all the pieces back before they fall into enemy hands. Of course, obviously they fall into enemy hands, and now the Spider-Men have to go get them.
Okay, and if we talk about Spider-Man, well, there's a lot of foes. Is there like major enemies, villains, super villains?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I can't name them all, but
maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah. Let's see. We've got Hammerhead.
Okay.
That's a Spider-Man Noir villain. We've got Mysterio, and we have Kraven.
Okay.
I don't know how many you want me to name.
No, well, that's okay. It's great because they're like classic super villains that we don't see often in games like Hammerhead or something like that. Do you have plans for DLC maybe for the game in the future?
Not at this point, but who knows?
Is there a multiplayer or co-op in the game?
Not at this point, no. We really want to do is we really wanted to focus on just getting the single player solid and, you know, nailing that single player experience rather than trying to do too many things at once. I mean, 4 gameplays and 4 different universes at once, that's already a lot.
Yeah.
So.
Great. And one last question. Somebody wanted me to ask you, why did you choose Spider-Man and not any other superhero franchise? Is there a reason?
Well, Spider-Man is, as a game designer, level designer, that's what I do. Yeah. It's really interesting because he can move in all 3 dimensions really fast. He's really agile, but he has that kind of platforming sort of navigational ability, and yet he also is a real brawler. I mean, he can go toe-to-toe with almost anybody. So that makes it really interesting.
So maybe it's a bit easier, like mechanic-wise, to create mechanics for him?
I would say it is a lot of potential. I wouldn't say easier, because the fact that he can swing means that he can go anywhere. You know, he's not a person that you can put a wall in front of him and, okay, now he can't go over there. No, you have to put something huge in front of him.
Talking about that, will there be any like open area? in the game, or is it only levels and you follow a path?
Well, we looked at the like open world game design, and one thing that we thought was it's really fun to have that freedom, but usually the story kind of suffers from it because you tend to just do a mission and come back and do another little mission and come back. What we did is we made a game that was linear, but within that linear space there are big open spaces that you can explore. So
that's great. And when is it coming out?
September 7th. Coming right up.
All right, we'll be waiting for it. Thanks a lot.